he's like, okay.
Yes.
Mr. President, don't you want to
That
go?
was
He's
in
like,
one of the scary
yes, but
movies,
I have to
I
find
think.
out what happens to Molly. Yeah, it was, and that Bush basically did that with 9/11. He didn't have to find out what would happen with Molly, but the guy whispered in his ears the towers.
He was reading Chicka Chicka Boom Boom
Yeah, he's like,
to some kids. He goes, and then the coconut came, and the second coconut tree fell, and then the guy comes.
No, this is what we were talking
Mr.
about.
Bush, they just all the gold's now in the World Bank.
This is what we were talking about the other night. He was reading a story about ducks. He was reading a story about where 19 ducks went into a flight school, and they learned how to fly planes, but not how to land them. And they they bought box cutters, and they. All right, well.
Yeah, I forget how the story goes.
I just saw a meme today. It's pretty horrible. It shows a picture of the Twin Towers on fire, and then there's Ben Kenobi in the corner, and it says, "These blast points too accurate for sand people." It's not a good one, but it's a good one.
No, I like that.
It's not mine. I saw that meme. It cracked me up. I was like, all right, that's pretty.
No,
it took me a second.
It got me, man. Too accurate for sand people.
But that's got some depth to it, that little meme.
It's funny because it's true.
It took me a long time to believe 9/11 was an inside job, and what makes me believe it is it's a deep state action wherein groups like the CIA puppeteer extra American forces to get their way, etc.
No.
But Building 7's what gave it away for me.
No, listen. The second tower fell, okay? There was a lot of dust. The dust came up from the building and created a shockwave effect that maneuvered through New York City over to Tower 7, and then the dust particulates struck Tower 7 in a way that most buildings don't know how to handle. The dust came at Tower 7, and then Tower 7, you wouldn't believe, like clockwork, it just... But it was the dust.
The people the architects that engineered Building 7 could have never predicted that torrent of dust.
Right.
Like coming into contact.
People don't understand how dangerous dust is.
Dust is dead people, and dead people are jealous and angry. They were alive, now they're just dust, and they're pissed at everything.
That's right, ghosts killed Tower 7.
And that's the secret they don't want to tell you. Right there.
I don't know why Anderson Cooper couldn't have just said it straight. Listen,
well,
you're worried about Tower 7,
it
was
He's
ghosts.
Anderson Cooper. But
isn't Anderson Cooper's like a CIA guy?
Yeah, he's a blue blood.
That's what's so fucking crazy.
I haven't looked into him specifically. I've heard that a lot, so I couldn't give you exact, but I've heard he's a blue blood with associations to the CIA.
I thought people in the CIA were illiterate.
Illiterate?
I'm just surprised if he is a CIA operative. How, like, maybe it's what you're talking about, where they need someone of like medium intelligence.
Well,
who thinks they're high intelligence?
A scriptwriter.
Yeah, that's probably all a CNN right there.
Put it to you this way:
yeah.
a director needs an actor; he can't act the part.
Right, but who do you pick? Is what we're talking about.
Well, you pick a guy who's
you have the right hat on for this job. You should
shenanigans. You know, somebody who's part of the machine on the fringes and already compromised.
But it's someone who seems intelligent.
Who's got the look for the part? Yeah.
Yeah. They gotta seem intelligent to most Americans.
They need a yoked gay guy to.
Well, because the Project Mockingbird thing's been involved since the '60s at least, and I got a theory that the Oscars are a sort of subtle kind of nod, wink, wink thing, award for the best propaganda of the year, because it subtly introduced some message to the population that was so revered it became literature. That's a conspiracy theory of mine. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something to that, but I don't know.
I've been drunk
evidences.
at some dude's house, and he's like, "You gotta watch Tom Hanks accepting the Cecil B. DeMille Award because there's a lot of occult symbology." And we watched it, and he's like, "I just want to thank the Academy and also this black triangle that lives in my skull. And also, I want to talk about the red eye in the pyramid that never dies quite, does it?" And my wife. I'd like to thank my wife.
Also, Rita Wilson. I'd like to thank Rita for her unending support in my campaign of taking pictures of children's
I'd like to thank the Weinsteins,
outside of temples,
the Epsteins, and every Steen that made this possible.
And Greece for letting me eject, because I had to do that.
I mean, quickly, thank you, Greece, for being my fucking escape pod.
I'd like to thank the 12 boys on that island that I can't get back to, even though I try to every day, that you took me to on that plane, Mr. Epstein.
I'm going to miss you. Wilson, I'll miss you, Wilson! That's what that beach ball was.
Wilson was just just a fucking. Wilson was the code name of a Malaysian child that he was fucking.
Oh,
Listen,
man.
it's
We got down the rabbit hole quick on that one.
No. It was Rainn Wilson.
we're all. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
Don't try to find a symbol where there's not
The
one.
Office was a tragedy about a man who was mentally abused from the time he was little and had to function in society.
Just cracking open Steve Carell's head and getting the adrenochrome out of him. You've been traumatized by working in an office.
No, it really
And
does.
it-
It really does make Tom Hanks' catalog different when you like go back and watch Forrest Gump, for example, and you just go, "What ritual did he do
Yeah.
before that?"
You know
movie?
what's so sad? Have you guys ever seen the movie Volunteers with him and John Candy?
Uh-uh.
It is legitimately one of the best comedies of all time. He's like a rich cunt that like racks up too much gambling debt. He's like just graduating from Yale, and he racks up too much gambling debt.
No, you're
and,
thinking of Mr. Deeds.
Yeah. He switches places with his roommate who's going on the Peace Corps. So he gets on in order to outrun gambling debt, he goes to Thailand to build a bridge, and he's just a yuppie fuck, but somehow like everything works out for him.
Okay.
It's a great it's a fucking hilarious.
Well, he was also in Big,
Which I have problems with.
right?
Yeah.
Big is some pedo shit.
It is.
It
yeah.
is totally, you don't realize it. Like when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I'm 13. I kind of feel weird about
No,
him
that
touching them
scene
titties.
where he comes clean to his wife when he's working at the company
Yeah.
and they've been just sleeping in a play castle every night for a year and a half or whatever.
She didn't think anything
and
was
his
wrong.
his friend comes back and he's like, "Hey, I figured out how to cure you. What the fuck are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, I'm fucking this chick now." What's
She
happening?
wanted to fuck a grown man with the mind of a child.
And then she sees him walking.
I make all the good toys to give me the money now.
Yeah.
Hold on,
He's Jamaican for
You
some
almost
reason.
went to Jamaica.
I know.
Dude, he's
this is a
always,
problem. This is a problem.
he's
I
always
tried
so-
to do retarded. I did Jamaican. That is racist.
He's
I thought you were verging on a Sandler there, but it worked.
no, dude. Well, that's
Oh no, sorry. That's just.
You just do the retarded Jamaican for the Sandler. I can't do it. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That was a-
do
that was a
Ca-
fail.
do
That was
Cage
the
Man.
whis- that was the tequila speaking.
No, he's always just on the ledge of doing Jamaican lady.
I can.
I tried to coax him into it.
I've
but
got too many alter egos and they blend together. But
Jamaican lady's my favorite because she's got sass. You know what I mean?
Sass.
She's,
Yeah, I
yeah,
can't.
she's a sassy.
I can't do Jamaican lady. She does me sometimes.
All right. Anyway, let's start. Let's go back to psychedelics.
All right, we're back, and that was the
Yeah,
regular-
cut
we're
that
back.
shit. That was unusable.
And we're back. Dude, we haven't even gotten into watching Davey and Goliath, which we're gonna do.
All right.
But
I hope not.
But with psychedelics, I debate you on this because
Have you done mushrooms?
No.
Okay. You cannot judge all psychedelics based on a bad acid trip.
I
or
have
just
other
acid
reasons.
in general.
Other reasons?
Well, do you know who the Aztec god of gay and drugs was? I kid you not.
The Aztec god of
There's-
gay
there's-
and drugs?
I kid you not. I kid you not.
Well, that's the title of
I
this
researched
episode.
into
Dr.
this.
Fauci. The Aztec god of gay and drugs.
I was gonna say Cardi B, but you beat me to no.
Fauci's-
No.
oh, wait,
There's a
wait.
deity that the Aztecs had, which was the flower prince, and he was,
Quetzalcoatl?
no, Quetzalcoatl was something else. The flower prince was like the god of all the drugs, which were all the flowers, and
Sure.
being gay apparently.
This is what I'm talking about. You get yinned out on psychedelics. The Aztecs knew this.
The Aztecs knew this. Well, the thing about the Aztec society is they practiced human sacrifice.
No, hold on, because here's what I agree with. Once you get too feminine in your society, you will start sacrificing children.
Well, they did.
I believe that.
They would
That's-
also.
that's just me.
They'd also eat the limbs, and there's some adrenochrome linkages there from the historical records we've got of what was
Right.
going on there. I mean, there was some. Now, mostly they do it to their enemies. One year, the historians doubt it because they want all the funky monkey shenanigans of the Aztecs to just be flowery and fun and not human sacrificial and cannibalistic. But the reality here is there's a record of 20,000 sacrifices in 4 days, where they rip the heart out and do all manner of shenanigans.
I don't think that's because of
this
mushrooms.
is Pyramid
though.
Gate.
However,
Pyramid Gate.
what's funny about it?
We need to crack down on the Aztecs.
well,
They
that's
did a
why
lot
they
of
sent.
shit.
That's what they said.
None of it's
Cortez.
gotten prosecuted.
Listen, this high priest, he's got some bad ideas. I've seen the documents. I know.
Listen.
I know what he's doing.
Amun Ra tweeted a lot of things he should not have. and we need to hold him accountable.
There we go. There we go. All right.
Well, so that was a reality of that society, is this human sacrifice thing, and I don't like that. But there's
Way to take a stand.
What they found.
How brave of you to go against.
Well,
human
Now listen,
sacrifice.
I don't want to ruffle any feathers, but why do you gotta do that?
Why you got humans? Why you sacrifice humans?
Why you gotta? Well, when the Spanish conquistadors got there, they're like, "Holy shit! This city is more advanced than everything in Europe." And it was like a really advanced.
That's like, well, that was like when the
society.
Romans conquered Athens. They were like, let's sack this place. What are they doing? They've got art? Wait a second. And they eat cheese and grapes? We should try that.
We don't even. How do they make that milk hard? How do they
make that milk?
how do they do that? That was so funny.
What the
Even the
fuck
demon in the
just
kitchen had to
happened?
knock
Fuck is
something
that,
over.
dude?
That is the craziest shit that has ever. A painting just fell down.
Oh man, you
What
made
kind
the
of-
you
what
made
kind
the
of-
demon in the kitchen.
What
laugh.
kind of demons are you bringing into my house?
I'm not bringing
Literally,
any-
you said that, and
they're
a
leaving 'cause of me.
thumbtack,
No,
a
they- listen, they
thumbtack
could fuck-
gave out in the kitchen.
That painting's been there for years.
Was that the
mother-
painting of the lips or the eyes?
Apparently, see,
one
this
of
is
them
it.
devil
Always
By the
comes
way,
back.
that's the
One
least
of them
sexual
devil
painting
prints.
I have in my house.
Oh, that was the problem. This painting ain't
Not
got
enough
a dick
tits
on
on
it
it.
anywhere. Oh, well.
I could barely get hard to that painting of an L.
It always comes back to cheese. When you
always-
bring up cheese in this house,
The cheese
then
gods.
occult stuff starts happening.
Oh, your chair even creaked accordingly at that point. When you bring up cheese in this house, creak. Occult stuff starts
Cheese,
happening.
cheese is just milk with ghosts in it. That's what it is. They don't want to tell you the truth.
My joke was cheese is just milk you can chew, but milk with ghosts in it is very
Much
superior.
better.
That's hilarious.
Milk you can chew. I like.
That's just, well,
I don't know.
didn't-
Fuck
The
happened to
Romans,
that painting?
the Romans did have cheese, but they didn't have feta.
Oh my goodness.
What were we talking about right as that painting
Okay,
fell? That we can...
so
Cheese.
we were talking
Just
about
cheese.
how the
It was
South.
just cheese.
It's just fucking cheese.
We
dude.
talked about the
was just
cheese
cheese.
in Athens, and the demon laughed. Now, in South America, the Aztecs had an advanced society that was beyond. It was beyond what a lot of the Europeans had, and they
Well, so
admired
this is all
it.
like Atlantis shit, right?
Well,
Like-
no, the Atlantis stuff is probably antediluvian. So that's
Right, no.
at the
So
beginning,
this
but
is
it's
the
not
people
Aztec.
that were inhabiting
Atlantis was
Atlantis.
Antarctica when it was higher up. We all know
No,
this.
and Atlantis was a pre-flood world that reached a technological state beyond our own, and eventually, I imagine it was a global socialist state that had terrible.
Socialist?
Yeah, I imagine. Well, socialism, Luciferianism, collectivism, Jacobinism, Bolshevism.
Atlantis? Why would it be
They're all-
Luciferian?
Well, they're all a redo or a reboot or a reterming of the same sort of collectivist
Babylonian, right?
idea.
It's the Tower of Babel.
Well, yeah,
Always.
that's a part of it. It's all just sort of rebooted. It's like Star Wars 7 is the same as Star Wars 4. You know what I mean? It's that sort of thing.
You've
So
got too many things lumped together.
listen, I'm trying to reach
Atlantis,
pop culture.
Luciferianism, Star Wars, anything he says.
A long time ago in a
Tower of
galaxy
Babel.
far, far away. Well, not anything he says. Most things. But you too. We're having a fun one. So look.
I don't understand. Atlantis may have been an actual society. Otherwise, it's a mythology about a society
Well,
that some people think was a continent that became Antarctica, but it might not have been. It might have floated to the bottom of the ocean or whatever. But it was a ancient society.
I think it was a global state that was lost in the flood.
But why do you believe it was socialist?
Well, I think socialism, Luciferianism, and all these isms, and especially what we saw in the Aztec culture, they're steps toward
Socialism, Luciferianism.
How many?
What does this paper say?
I think Stalin probably
need a Red Bull.
probably killed more than the Aztecs, and so did Mao. And their
This is a weird argument I've never heard before.
Well-
okay, the Aztecs killed 45 million, but Mao Zedong.
Well, I'm saying Mao Zedong, under the socialist rhetoric and ideology, ultimately sacrificed more people for the sake of the state than probably ever existed in the Aztec Empire. What I'm saying is these things are all, it's like a caterpillar, a pupa, a cocoon, a butterfly. We're talking different stages toward the same end, and there's different places they've gotten to in history.
so,
the ultimate end would
hold
be
on.
a sterilization of all humanity from the earth. And I
Right.
think that pre-flood, they got to a point.
Wait. Can
Hold
you
on,
go
hold
back?
on,
Just
hold on,
rewind
hold
one
on.
second. The ultimate thing will be what?
Well, the ultimate demonist fallen angel ideology, the Luciferian ideal, is to suck all consciousness into himself like the fucking Borg And that would end up eradicating life on the earth. He wants to be like the Most High. The
But then
ultimate
where,
end game of Lucifer is to
where
create
does the
his own thing and
consciousness
erase
go?
us.
If
Into
Lucifer,
him.
okay,
Like he's like
but
a
where's
computer.
him? Where's Lucifer?
The prince of the powers of the air. He's extra dimensional.
Okay, so all the consciousness goes into a different dimension.
Well, no, it's also got interaction here. It's like Clippy the paperclip.
It always comes back to this.
It's just an easy. It's a modern thing.
Fuck Clippy. Fuck Clippy, dude.
He's got a GIF, a GIF, an animated representation to you on the screen, but behind the screen there's a bunch of ones and zeros that are clicking the program. So he's simultaneously in and out of that world. You see what I mean?
No.
Hold on.
Always go to this digital
I'm
analogy.
trying to speak to our youth.
I agree with
trying
him.
to speak to the
He's
youths.
trying to speak to the youth
I'm looking
through
out for the youths.
through Clippy the paperclip, which has not existed for fucking 50
I
they're
didn't
like,
say
what are
I
you
was
talking
being
about?
effective.
No.
Speaking to the youths.
You're trying your best, dude. You're trying your best. I want you to.
Well, I just want to follow this line of reasoning for a second. If there were an evil, egoistic entity that was only concerned with its own pride and so forth, that sought to absorb all the consciousness, but then what? So then Lucifer gets all the consciousness and he lives in a different plane. Well, then what? Don't we just go hang out in that plane?
No, but there's no we anymore.
There's no we anymore. It's just Lucifer by himself in a plane.
I mean, he's an
What's
asshole.
he doing?
He's not a nice guy. He's not. It's not like we're talking about.
But he wants
something-
to have a good time, doesn't he?
No, well, here's
He's content to
there's
just.
No, he
this about
doesn't.
evil. Evil is just spoiled goodness. Nobody who's trying to do something evil is like, I want to do this evil thing because it's going to make me bad and sick and kill me younger. Ooh,
Right.
I want to be bad for bad sake.
But this is
No,
what I'm saying. If you
people are
leave
evil 'cause
milk
they're
out,
like,
if you leave
I
milk
wanna
out, it becomes
Spoiled
cheese.
or it's just-
Spoiled goodness. We all like cheese. Till a painting falls off the wall and a ghost fucking infiltrates.
Yeah, nice callback. Well played, well played. That
But I don't
said,
understand.
That's
If
not
it's-
exactly how cheese is made. Just so you know. You
I
can't
know,
just-
there's
you
lemon
can't just
juice
pour
and
fucking
whey
milk on a
involved
counter
in-
and then eat it 2 weeks later with your souffle. That's gonna give you sickness and you might shit your pants. That ain't how cheese works. You have to
ain't
do
how
things
cheese-
in a certain way. There has to be a preparation. So what we're seeing here is something
Okay.
that saw an intelligence that saw reality be created and wants to be like that, and it can't.
Okay, hold on, because I think
That's what the
hold on.
Gnostics thought.
I think
the
I-
Gnostics
Right.
thought this was a spoiled reality that was just
Hold on.
trying
But
to
their
imitate.
God spoiled it, and now they're saying he's the good guy. No. What they're doing is they're
Okay.
retconning it. The Gnostics retconned the fall.
Hold on though.
That's what it is.
See, this is my
That's
critique, and I think I can route it back into the Gnostics. Hold on. Spoiled goodness. We were talking about cheese for a
Yes, we
second.
were talking about cheese.
Oh no. So this is what it is. Is like you're saying that the nature of the world will reveal to you what is goodness and badness.
No.
What reveals to you what is goodness and badness?
Well, there's
The
a
apple.
reason we need God.
That's the apple.
Well, the apple is the knowledge of good and bad, but it's not the knowledge of action. That's the thing. It's you can know what's good and bad, but that doesn't mean you know what to do. So here's the deal. We live within time, and we can't see outside the present. We can remember the past, we can imagine the future, but we can't actually see it. We're in the present, the moment. God, the Creator, lives dimensionally beyond time, such that time to him is like height, width, and breadth.
Interdimensional being.
Well, he's beyond the
He's an
dimensions of our universe.
Okay.
Just as a programmer's outside. That's why I use the game programmer, because it's something we can latch onto. At least it's the
Okay.
only shit I got. So that's all I got. But he's outside of that time domain, right? He sees the ultimate end result of every action we're going to take, the domino effect, if you will. We don't. So sometimes it seems right to do something in the moment, but we don't have the ability to see the domino effect, chaos theory impact of that.
So how?
So
why
God-
do you and I say this affectionately, but why do you and Joel Osteen, have the same? You're talking about the same entity, but you're coming to very different conclusions. Now,
Even
why?
the devil talks
Why would
about
that
God.
be?
Some people are talking about God so they can fill their pocketbooks. I'm trying to tell the truth I've been shown, and I'm trying to help people see the truth, and I'm trying to stop the consequences that happen.
When
as a
were
domino
you
effect of
shown
the
it?
other shit. Well, when I was a kid, I did look into it, but I believed in evolution till I was about probably 10 years old. Like my grandma would read me this book about a horse that evolved from a dog-like creature. It was a little children's book. She was from Germany. Their society,
Socialist propaganda.
they really believed in evolution.
Okay.
They did. They really did. For real. But she, she was always fascinated by it and didn't quite believe it. But she's like, well, it's the right thing. And my mom taught it. She was a school teacher. And we encountered a number of counter teachings to that, which brought into light the evidence used for the one teaching and brought into light other evidence that was left out. And it calls that into question. So from then on, we started questioning
What
a
is
little
it?
bit.
Well, hold on.
Well, I'm getting
What's
there.
that evidence?
Oh, okay. Well, so you've got things like polystratic fossils. You've got...
This is what you were talking with your grandma about when you were 12
No,
years
not
old?
with Grandma. We just... a guy named Dennis... It wasn't Miller, obviously, but it was Dennis something. He did this Mysteries of Creation series. And it's like 18 fucking videos long. And each one's like 2 hours. And he's just sitting there in a chair. And he's talking to you and reading a book. And then he'll show graphics and he'll show stuff. And it was fascinating to me because I love dinosaurs, And I saw this stuff. And I had a lot to think about. And as we progressed, I didn't believe Scripture was the inerrant Word of God until college, because I had to look into the why behind what I believed in the Bible. Because I didn't actually... I used to argue and I'd say, it's a good book, but it's not inerrant.
But you would
and
say...
then I had to look into it, and that's when I found it was.
You would say that the reason that... So you do...
I made a lot of mistakes in that time. I was doing all kinds of dumb stuff. Anyway.
So where are you at on dinosaurs?
They existed, but they weren't...
Did they exist side by side with humans?
Well, I think there's evidence they're still around. You've got Mekele and Mbembe in Africa. You've got Nessie. You've got the core.
Well, that's a different thing, obviously, than these.
Well,
than
they have the same
a
attributes.
Dakota raptor.
Then you have cryptids, and you have in ancient archaeology all these busts of Triceratops and Brontosaurus and stuff, and they're called dragons by the people.
Hold on. So, but
like, how the hell do they know about that?
I'm not disagreeing with this.
Yeah.
I'm This may sound like I'm disagreeing with
Oh, you're
this.
fine. No. This is
I'm
good for the podcast.
like do you have a number for how old you think the world is?
I think it's in the vicinity of 6,000 years, and I think that doesn't necessarily equate to the time in the universe. I think there's a difference. There's such a thing as white hole cosmology, which posits that the rate of light expansion might not be constant, and accordingly, the time at one place may not be the time at the other. I saw it in a freaking Calvin and Hobbes cartoon. The dad's sitting there, and there's a record, and he says, okay, put your finger on the inside of the record and put your finger on the outside of the record. Now, notice, your finger on the inside of the record is going faster than your finger on the outside, even though they're both going the same
time dilation
on the same plane. And Calvin's like, what the fuck? It blew his mind.
Right,
Yes,
and gravity
there's a
actually
difference.
does dilate time.
It does.
Like, in accordance with...
Gravity, light,
with
and time have a relationship with one another that
Well,
isn't constant.
please explain the last frame of that comic where Calvin's dad goes, now, can you understand why fossils are all fake?
No, I didn't say that.
No, he doesn't think of fossils
the
are all fake.
fossils are real. It's just the
Listen,
way the fossils...
you have to know your audience before you make a fucking
No.
fake fossil joke,
I
you
will
fucking hack.
nerd out on the fossils. I will nerd out on my paleontology. No, here's the deal. So it's not that creationists dispute the evidence. It's that we interpret the evidence differently, because the fossilization process may not necessarily be as they're selling it, and there's evidence to the contrary. They found fossilized acorns in a bucket in the backyard after a year. It's mineral deposits in the water, just like stalactites or stalagmites. That's what happens. You get volcanic ash, you get a flood, mud goes against these organisms, packs them in tight with pressure.
Yeah, but what
boom,
about
fossil.
carbon dating and other things I don't know about?
Well, carbon dating relies on a radioactive isotope being detected in...
Yeah, what's radioactive?
Radioactive is a hard
What's
thing.
a neutron?
It has to do with the molecular content of the atomic
What are
structure.
gamma rays?
I'm getting Dwighted. I'm getting Dwighted.
Listen,
The spirit of
listen,
Dwight
listen.
lives on here.
No, I like. I'm agnostic. I'm agnostic about the age of the world or universe. Do you have an opinion? Are you set in a thing? Or do you believe that you know the age of the universe? Even as I say it, it sounds retarded.
Do I know the age?
Do you know the age of the? Do you think you know the age of the universe?
I say because of the nature.
Are you smarter than a fourth grader? I'm
say,
Howie Mandel. Welcome to my new show.
If you believe,
I'm saying the age of the
Subject.
universe may be variable based on time not being a constant. I'm saying the age of the Earth is a different story.
Right, and like I'm open to that.
I mean, that include the solar system too.
Now, what about strontium-143?
Okay, that you'd have to refresh me on. I know
Okay.
I actually have heard that before, but I need refreshed on what it's relevant to, and then it'll
No. That was just a bunch of syllables. I just wanted to see, because clearly nobody knows what the fuck. They go, yeah, well, because we have this device, and we point this device at a substance and then a substrate.
Oh, carbon
and then
dating.
we get a reading, and then we go, that isotope is present in certain degrees. But
You know what it
literally,
is?
science will go, yeah, but maybe the speed of light isn't constant.
There's a perfect answer to that. They assume deposition rate is constant. They assume the rate of.
I know, don't they?
So the deposition
feel
of
this
the
in your life?
radioactive isotopes, they think from outer.
I know these motherfuckers trying to act like deposition rate's constant all the time.
Okay. So
These
here's what
fucking geologists.
Here's what that means. Here's what that means. And I'm not on comedy mode right now. I'll try and make a joke later.
No,
Here's
I'll
what that
route us
means.
back. I'll route us back. I got it.
right.
I've been communing with the ghosts that knocked over my painting,
Okay,
and we
all right.
figured out a
So
perfect
radioactive
bit that's going to get us
isotopes,
back
they're
in.
saying that something in the way the light comes out of space or whatever makes carbon atom C14 radioactive, and because the plants breathe it in, there's a certain amount of it that comes in because
It's got
the animals
extra
eat the
neutrons.
plants.
It's overweight. It's carbon that did
It
not
gets in-
have self-control as a child.
Ostensibly, it gets in all biological life, and they assume that it is deposited from without the planet into our system at a certain rate, so that levels are going to be at a consistent level based on their reader. And so they're like, oh, if there's this much in it, it must be this old, and it's got a half-life of plus or minus like 4,000 or 5,000 years or something. Here's the thing. If you've got an antediluvian world, it's got a water canopy, there's a difference in UV light, there's a difference in distribution of a lot of materials, that's going to affect things. And also they've noticed carbon rate deposition, even in the post-flood world, is going to be variable. It doesn't always come down at the same time, same rate. It's not always the same. So to assume it's all the same is going to screw up your readings, because they're assuming that the reading matches something that's been constant for the last 4,000 to 6,000 years, but it hasn't. And there's
Okay.
evidence of the
So
constant.
Okay,
the
hold on,
reason
hold on,
you
hold
know
on.
all this
Hold on
stuff
now.
is because of that guy
very
in the
single.
chair
He loves Ray Comfort.
who talked for long
He's
periods
a big
of time.
fan of Ray
I
Comfort.
love Ray Comfort. He's excellent. He does wonderful things. I'm sorry, Ray, about all the swear words. I love you, mate. Listen, mate. No, I'm communicating to the young generation. All right, I'm doing my best, mate. All right, pray for me. All right, Ray.
Can you tell me about the bananas?
I forgot about the bananas, but you know what? It's a perfect opener. It's
perfectly-
like it was designed perfectly for human beings to open the banana, and I think he's right. I think God did make fruit like bananas, made easily so that we could open them and eat them, and it's not difficult. It's like a pop
Seen a
top.
banana, mate?
I think it's an excellent.
But they're like the
good
most.
built-in design.
So,
I actually
first of all,
agree with him.
hold
No,
on,
no
hold
joke,
on.
but I do agree with him.
By the way, I just want to say that like the fact that anybody was ever on this show that was able to do a perfect Ray Comfort impression, I could die happy now. That's really all
I
I
like
wanted.
him though. He's good, but yeah.
But no,
he's
but
fun.
Now, what would
bananas,
Jordan
like, we've
Peterson
never-
think about all
Hold
this?
on.
Jordan
Let's
Peterson
do
is
Jordan.
Kermit from Canada, and all you've got to do is, with seriousness, say, "I damn bloody well am not going to have sex with that woman if she doesn't
It's
want
Bill
me to."
Clinton. It's
Yeah, do
Kermit
it- do
Bill
it-
Clinton
Damn,
from
damn
Canada.
bloody well right. That's I did
You gotta
not.
talk about cleaning your room. That's the.
You've got to clean your room. Get your damn bloody house in order. Otherwise, you'll never get Miss Piggy in there.
I also like Jordan Peterson. Don't get me wrong.
No, he's great.
But
Don't
he
get me
bloody
wrong,
well
it is Jordan
says
Peterson.
bloody damn bloody well all the bloody damn time to prove to the
Pinocchio.
young people, even though he's taking a conservative stance.
I used to
he's
drink
still got
alcohol.
some bloody
Now
starch
I don't
in
like
him.
anything.
I like him though. I like. He's got some good things to say.
But hold on, but
I think
go
he doesn't
back-
take it far enough. But
Go back to Ray Comfort because this is the
all right,
like,
sorry about that. Here we go.
here we go.
No, I love Ray Comfort. He's wonderful. I love how he talks. He's
fuck.
excellent.
You're
No,
so
he's done-
fucking good at
He's
that,
done
aren't
some
you?
good stuff, and I think he's excellent. And I haven't seen a lot of him in a long time. So if you do see this, Ray, I hope you get out and do some more interview videos and maybe do another like movie like you did. But to get some real comedians in there, mate. I saw the movie. It was good, but you needed real comedians.
Listen, if Ray Comfort needs me to do a guest spot on a document, but here's the thing where he's fucking wrong is that there's no fruit that has been more genetically fucked with by humans than bananas.
The plantain.
They started out like full of seeds and shit. They were an
Well,
annoying fruit that nobody would want to
do
eat.
know that
But we
the-
just bred them
The
into a thing
mandate
that we
of God
like.
was for mankind to be gardeners. So the idea.
Okay, but then by defending the banana, he's
Yeah.
defending the intelligent design of humankind.
You don't understand what he's
Hold
saying.
on.
He's saying that the fruit from the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden was genetically modified by
This is not
Monsanto.
turn the freaking frogs gay.
They ate, yes, exactly. They ate a GMO apple
And
from
it
this
turned Adam
fucking
gay.
snake Monsanto. They ate this apple, and then they learned that they could manipulate the plants to be gay frogs or whatever.
That's what I'm
Not
saying.
quite
Is
what I
that
meant,
like
but
this way? So
you could still open it the same way and eat it the same way, though.
To me, I look at it and I go, like, you're spending all this time, and isn't there like, I'm obviously rusty with my scripture, but there's like an edict about like not like getting caught up in like don't get too tied up in like the history of the world in endless
What
genealogies.
it's saying is,
like, is there a moral center or
what that
are the
specifically is talking about is when it was specifically a mandate, and it's something that applies today. But like when the Jewish people who turned Christian
There's a
were
mandate?
talking to the Jewish people, not a mandate. Listen, I've been drinking. When the Jewish people who had been turned Christian were talking to like the Pharisees and whatnot, they'd get down the rabbit hole on genealogies and not actually talk about the proof in the pudding, the meat in the pie. These are bad analogies. The crux of the issue, the entree. They get off in the menu and never discuss the entree. And it was saying, listen, don't have real conversations. Don't get caught up in the minutia. That's what that was about.
Right, but this is what I'm saying to you is I think that when I see people defending, and my brother was like a young Earth Christian for a long time, and when I would hear him try to defend it, I'm like, you're wasting your time. Like what a waste of, like with if you believe that the gift of Christ was like the washing away of all the sins of humanity. It's weird that you keep talking about dinosaurs.
Well,
you should
here's
just
the
like
reason.
stop it at the point
There's
and be
a-
like,
there's a good
yeah, I'm not
reason
talking about
for it.
dinosaurs. You're getting like, listen, you can make your own
mate,
decision
he's
about
talking
dinosaurs.
about bananas.
It's
Let
like
me tell you what's
talking about
actually
bananas.
I'll tell you what's actually going on here, mate. I will. So here's what's actually going on. And I believe this, but I'm going to do this very comfort because it's a lot of fun, right?
Please, I love it.
Here's what's actually going on. So the evolutionary ideology is...
As opposed to actually.
Actually. Well, it's Australian, mate.
Actually.
Yeah, no, it's Australian/New Zealand, mate. So the evolutionary ideology is a sort of red herring. It's a sort of... you might call it a propaganda piece in order to justify another religious mythos. Evolutionary ideology is a
But this is what I'm
religious
saying is, like,
ideology
you
which makes
attacking-
it possible for a lot of political perspectives that don't value human beings as life. For example, abortion would be, by evolutionary ideology, a perfect way of hygiene for the human race. That would be abortion. Because
hygiene, yeah,
you've
yeah.
got to prune the human tree, otherwise it gets all funky branches.
Damn, good point, Ray Comfort.
So, I'm telling you right now, so that'd be one reason.
Don't you want all these Walmart Gretas in there, in the gene pool?
Absolutely. Look,
Wouldn't you
they've all
like a
got
few more Tods in the gene pool?
a few more Tods or Tards?
Tards.
Sorry. Yeah.
But I repeat no, I'm kidding. But no. So
Yeah,
what,
if you're
what
a
he's
Todd
saying,
listening, fuck you.
the evolutionary ideology was a means by which things like Marxism were able to get hold.
Hold on.
And Marx liked Darwin.
Sure. But the
Yeah, Marx and Darwin were butt buddies, mate.
No, they were. They would write letters back and forth.
They go out on the boat, touch each other's anuses.
They say, "Look what's going to evolve from my pants."
But this idea, like when you talk, God,
I'm sorry.
like if you were to
Look,
talk
mate,
to
there's
some-
natural selection coming out there.
Survival of the fittest.
Hey,
mate.
Charles, what you doing with the birds over there, mate? Come look at this peacock in my trousers.
This is.
if you
What
You
All
just
these-
sip from an empty beer.
Meanwhile, he's just out.
If you just
don't call me, I had to do something. I
just-
had to do something. You know what? You're right. I had a question. I lost. No. This is my point.
All right.
Is like
got a
like
point. He
like
still has a point.
It's coming.
What are the good parts
Look at
of
my point,
Christianity?
mate.
What is Christianity like? How would Christianity benefit my life at all?
By life at all?
How would it benefit my life at all?
By okay. So
And he's Christian, so he's just
I know.
fucking devil's advocate.
I'm with you. So we're created in life with a destiny and a purpose that requires us to fulfill it.
And what's the purpose?
Well, it's different for everybody. It's like a puzzle piece or a particular pixel on a screen.
I don't like puzzles.
Well, you're not autistic then. There's
No,
a
he
lot
is.
of no, he is. No, he does.
He's what I've described
I don't like
as
pixels. I don't like puzzles. Why am I here?
Alan is what I've come to refer to as autistic on purpose. This is just this
He's
is
autistic
a voluntary
non-savant.
Yeah.
But
Okay, go ahead.
but no. So each of us has a purpose.
Why are
and
you guys' eyes doing different things right
What
now?
am I doing? What am I doing?
Why do you keep looking away?
Looking which way?
From what?
There's a camera there and there's him there. I'm just breaking the fourth wall and
Also,
not
we're
breaking,
drunk.
I'm
We're just
going in and out
eyes
of the
dodging around.
You guys don't even know what autism is.
He's mad because we called him autistic.
I was
All right,
joking.
listen,
No, I was just trying to see if
skip
you go with it.
Well, I do know a little bit about Asperger's and autism and the spectrum because
Yeah, Isaiah 3:12.
No, it's Isaiah 42. Now listen here. I substitute.
Yeah, that
God.
was the OCD chapter of the Bible. Isaiah 42.
Just call me the Rain Man. I subbed for 3 years, and the paraprofessional sub 2 most commonly goes for mentally handicapped. And in Fort Collins, Colorado, a lot of that is autism, an astonishing amount. Way more than statistically is expectable, especially in the last 30 years. Sorry, I slipped it. It's contagious. But no, I'm kidding. They're sweet
All right,
kids.
hold on. Go back to the thing before you interrupted us with the autism thing. What does Christianity have to offer people?
Oh well,
Vaccines.
no, the opposite of that. Well,
The opposite of vaccines is
Smallpox.
disease. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I was going to say health, but
Yeah.
here's what Christianity
Probably, I
has
agree
to
with that
offer
more.
humanity: liberty. The truth will set you free. It says in Scripture, and you know what? The truth does set you free because the preponderance of things we think matter in life don't. And a lot of the things we think don't matter do. And
Yeah,
we
like
get it mixed up.
Pokemon.
Pokemon Go matters. Here's why. Because Google had those cars driving around to map everything. Look, they couldn't get on the footpaths.
I know they
Pokemon
needed.
Go.
Yeah, they needed
Pokemon
some fucking
Go.
NSA guy
Damn.
to program
I'm
some
dead.
squirtles
Well, for
on the sidewalks.
for real though, I mean, the kids are. If you really wanted to find where all the hidden stuff is and where your network really had.
But see,
weak
this is
points.
hold on.
For
hold
real.
on.
No, that
This
guy
is-
was a former NSA guy who started that.
This is
I
what
didn't know
hold
that.
on.
Yeah.
I thought you were just joking at that.
Kevin.
Oh, wow.
No.
Go.
This is what I'm saying. This is how easy it is, dude. As I ask you about what the fundamental goodness
I said
of Christianity.
liberty.
Hold on, and look at how easy it was for this Crowleyan fucking demon to distract you into like talking about the surveillance state and all this Alex Jones shit.
333
He's constantly trying to pull
Choronzom,
you away
Saturn,
from the light.
Dina.
I'm noticing both of it. It's like
So, but you could quickly just go into the the actual liberty of that Christ is offering people.
Well,
you just got to
yeah.
not get distracted by this ginger fuck over here.
What's actual liberty?
actual liberty.
Silver
into it.
coins with Donald Trump's face on it.
That's what.
That's liberty, goddammit.
Well, it might be part of liberty. It could be part of
Is
No,
Tell me what liberty is.
Okay, so freedom.
Pissing in the streets. That's liberty.
Imagine you've
Fuck
been
your
given,
street.
Imagine you've been given a toy bear as a 5-year-old child. And
What?
It's 1945.
Why do I have to imagine this?
Because
Just for you to tell me what liberty is? I
Yes.
gotta be 5 with a
Imagine
bear?
if
hold
your
on.
parents
for
loved
you
you,
for you to
Alan.
be free to understand what liberty is, you must follow me
boy.
down.
All
the
right,
path.
I'll follow you for a second, but this is getting silly.
So you haven't got this toy before. You got this toy. You love this toy.
Okay,
They're
I
not
love
readily
my bear.
available in the 40s. All right.
Right.
Now, if you are free to enjoy the toy as intended and have fun with it and play with the bear and talk to it and have a little friend and whatnot, you're going to take care of the bear. It may be a little work, but you're not going to rip his arms off and set him on fire and rip his head off and drop kick the bear in front of a train or something like that. But what if somebody tells you you're not free unless you can do that? Well, then they've put into your head an idea that's sort of like a enslaving idea, in that curiosity kills the cat. And now you say,
Fucking Rush
how can
Limbaugh.
how can I really be free to enjoy this bear if I'm not free to destroy it?
This is such a
and so
deep
what happens?
analogy.
What happens? You go in and you want to love the bear, but you also want to destroy it and whatnot. And then eventually, what happens? Here's what happens: you ain't got no bear no more. So here's the deal: freedom is not necessarily following any urge that you get, because not all the urges you get are necessarily correct. True freedom is understanding how to differentiate such that you don't shoot yourself in the foot and deprive yourself of many other freedoms that are infinitely better than had you followed your base urges. So to have true freedom means to understand yourself. You can only understand yourself if you understand your purpose. You can only understand your purpose through Christ.
Okay, so who took your teddy bear away?
I had cats that were alive.
Your cats ate your bear?
Now, one did get hit by a car, though. It was pretty sad.
I just don't understand the point where you go, okay, here's freedom. I give you a teddy bear. Wait, stop there.
I start with a metaphor because
Do you not
explaining
understand how
complex
abstractions work?
If I explain
That's
things
not
on
freedom.
Oh yes.
Freedom is not a teddy bear that then the government tries to control.
Imagine your body, the thing that you don't have to imagine because it's there. Is every impulse that your body has good, or do you think that you will
this is where you
benefit
two
from?
agree. Okay, so freedom has to do with impulse and your defense against impulse.
No, that's reductionist. That's an aspect of freedom, but it's not the total.
But you're talking about your animal impulse.
No, that's reductionist. That's part of it, but I am the whole package because obviously you have impulses that aren't animal, and beyond impulses, you have desires, and you have dreams, and you have goals and objections. None of these things are instinctual. My dream to be a comedian is not instinctual. My instinct is to nail as many good-looking broads as I can.
Instinct. Okay,
instinct is different.
So
here's
the instinct to nail as many broads.
So freedom is your defense against instinct.
No, freedom's not a defense against instinct. There is a greater thing. There's a variety of goodness. People think good or bad. It's good, better, best, good, gracious.
It's a spectrum, like gender.
Good gracious.
Good gracious,
Ass
great balls
bodacious.
of fire. Good gracious, asses bodacious. It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. Is it getting hot in here?
That took a
Because I
turn.
want to take my clothes off. I'm not
All of
gonna.
them.
Listen,
That's right. That's instinct.
well, yeah.
If you want to be free, you better repress that.
But you see, so freedom is the freedom to fully fulfill who you are as a person. And God didn't make people to be automata. He didn't make them to be automatons.
Ottomans, yes.
Automat. It's like how many knives
God
around
did
this
not
thing?
care for furniture.
Well, he did not. Or the Ottoman Empire. Here's the deal. God did not.
Yeah, he really didn't.
He did not. He did not want robots. He did not want.
Yeah.
I did that.
That sounded so racist.
He did not want them robots.
Robots.
None of them
I don't need any of these
androids.
robotussins.
I don't like that hard T on the end of robot.
What God wanted instead of a bunch of them robot androids was
Robots.
he wanted something made in his own image, something that was self-actualized and conscious like himself. A friend.
And that's why he created.
So you can't
NSYNC.
have self-actualization and consciousness in a void where there's no choices between one alternative and the other. You can't have choice without choice. So mankind's got to have choice. So
No, wait.
so
You
what
just said
God
something
does
very
was-
true. You
Hold
just said
on.
you can't have choice without choice. Could you repeat that?
Well, if you don't have choice, you can't have choice. You
That's
can't
true.
have choice without choice.
No, that's the first true thing you said.
Point being, so each of us has a purpose in this world, and God made us individuals that can become a full fruition of his intention. And we've all got an individual nature. Now, that individual nature has, by rote, a destiny. Here's the deal. Whether or not you are actively fulfilling your destiny or collaterally fulfilling your destiny is up to you.
Okay,
if you're
but
truly
hold on.
free, you're
Hold on,
actively
sir.
fulfilling the fullest expression of you as, say, a plant flourishing. If you're not fully free, then because God's God, you're still going to fulfill his purpose in the tapestry of life, but the benefit you could have gotten isn't there, and you're always going to be chasing your own tail. So if true freedom is the freedom to be you, and freedom is
Hold
what
on, no.
Christianity offers.
Hold on.
So, okay, this is how he solves the true will problem, or free will problem, not the true will problem. The free will problem for you is you're going to do it, but if you do it intentionally, then you're in line with God and you enjoy it. And if you do it unconsciously, then you're doing it mechanically and you're fighting God the whole way.
Well, kind of. That's close to the thing is, let me do Norm Macdonald. The thing is this. You can do something you choose deliberately that's wrong. So it's not just choice. It's choosing to do the right things for the right reasons. And sometimes
Hold on,
we'll
hold
do the
on,
wrong
hold
thing
on,
for the right
hold on.
reasons. And God knows the heart. Anyway.
So this goes back to what I was saying. Like at the root of your version of Christianity, which is ever so slightly different than my version.
I
But
should have worn pants. Anyway,
that's the couch. The couch will get you, man.
couch got me. Anyway,
Is like the root of it is acting morally, right?
no, the root of it is salvation through grace by faith, because Christ acted morally, but he didn't act morally
Okay,
because
no,
he
I
wanted
actually
to be
agree with that.
moral.
So I
he
agree with
acted
that.
moral because of love.
No, you once you are aligned with love, then you will act morally just naturally.
Well,
It's not like you can act morally in order to obtain love. You have to have gotten the love before you have got.
love is a choice that is often stimulated by an animal urge. It is so.
That's not the love I'm talking about. But,
right, but no, I'm talking about not just.
What I'm saying is like to me,
Not just sex, but-
what I want to route back with the young Earth Christian thing is like the Bill Hicks bit of like you get to heaven and he's like, did you believe in dinosaurs? And you go, yeah, and he goes, sorry, and you say, oh, it seems so plausible. You know what I mean? Like, how do you feel about that? Like, why does it matter whether or not the
The
world
reason
is
it
a
matters
certain
is
age?
because evolution is the foundation for a deception.
So
part
can
of
you
which
get? But can you get to
leads right
heaven?
the
Can you get to
adrenochrome.
heaven but also be an
Yeah, because
evolutionist?
God knows the heart. So here's the deal. So salvation is through grace by faith, and not through works, lest any man should boast. God is no respecter of persons. He weighs the spirits. God knows the heart. God knows what's in here. Because I don't know what's going on inside your head or his funky nugget. I got no idea. Or heck, I don't even know what's going on in mine half the time. God does, right?
God does.
So
God weighs the heart.
if you do something good for the wrong reason, even if a good thing happens, you did it for the wrong reason. God knows that. If you did something bad for the right reason and shit hit the fan, even though it didn't turn out good, God knows he wasn't trying to be bad.
So then, if that's if this is the meter by which, by which we're like mediating our relationship to God, is what is in your heart. Are you doing things for the right reason, and are you like trying to connect to God? Then why all this focus on accepting a young Earth model of the world when the world doesn't matter? God, as far as I can tell, he does not really give a shit about what we think of the world.
God
He's like,
knows-
listen, this matter, and he says, he's like, all nations, and this is why I'm against you like being involved in politics. All nations are but a grain of sand. He does not give a shit about nations. He's like, this is your shit that you invented.
You got a point there.
I don't care about it.
But so round robin. So the reason the evolutionary paradigm is a problem, though you can have a relationship with Christ authentically and become saved, God wants you to know the truth. And because God wants you to know the truth, he wants you to avoid getting taken in by things that are going to mess up your body and spirit and soul, give you things like STDs and cancer. And the relativist uniformitarian ideology, which develops in academia as a result through evolutionary ideology, and the collateral deception which comes from it, bind you and keep you from being free. Now, God knows your heart, so you can legitimately be a Christian and believe the wrong thing just because you weren't intelligent enough to see the lie. God knows that, and you know what he'll do? He'll save you from a lot of stuff you didn't even know you got saved from. But as you get to know God, he's going to reveal things
like
to you.
you're Protestant. So
I'm Protestant.
You don't believe that every Catholic is going to hell.
No, I believe those who follow Roman Catholicism to catechismal law are probably not following Jesus, and so they're probably not saved. But the vast majority of Catholics know Christ. The thing about catechismal authority is it's pergamous, it's Nicolaitean practice. It's a marriage.
Yeah, it's a lot of syllables.
It's a marriage of Gnostic ideology with Christianity for political purposes through the Roman Empire. And Jesus talks about the Catholic Church, I believe, in the epistles and Revelation, which are when Christ writes the 7 letters to the 7 churches to John. There's also a future prophecy there. Now, that's theologically debatable. But we're getting to the evolution problem.
Well, hold on, because we can skip over the evolutionary problem.
Well, basically,
I just want to get that
deception there, and
initial
it's gonna
take on
lead-
it.
The deception of evolution leads to the adrenochrome and extraterrestrials and the Nephilim and the Anunnaki. It's the same thing repackaged from of old. And so when you understand where the deception comes from, it talks in Scripture that because of strong delusion, such as it were, even the very elect may be deceived. That's part of what evolution is. It's part of the groundwork for that deception.
But like Jacques Ellul, who I'm bringing up for the first time, not talking about the book Propaganda, I'm talking about other works of his. He was saying that by the nature of the American evangelical right, the fact that they do have this much power would lead you to believe that
lot
they're probably Christian in as much as the Catholics that
Yeah,
were murdering
no
people
dispute there.
are Christian. They're probably not
I have that problem
Christian,
with Billy Graham. I have that problem with Billy Graham, but here's the deal.
but not Ray Comfort. Weirdly,
Ray Comfort's different now. Ray Comfort's actually following scripture. He's
he
following
loves
scripture.
crocodiles. He's
He
talking.
knows crocodiles are God's creation, and crocodiles haven't changed in their evolution since the pre-Christian era. Since ancient times, the oldest fossils of crocodiles are still feckin' crocodiles. You wouldn't say
Dinosaur, they're
feckin'.
in the marsh there, mate. Get
They
in
haven't
there.
changed.
Ray
Didn't he?
Comfort worked for the Coca-Cola company.
But-
we all know that. He was like, look at how good bananas are, aren't they? Like a
You're
fresh,
definitely
like
right.
like a ice cold Coca-Cola in the
You're
way that
definitely
they open it.
right to link a lot of evangelicalism to Catholicism, and that both are essentially Pharisees and have interpreted a lot of New Age leftist, not even leftist, New Age Eastern, because it's left of center. I don't know. New Age
No, it's
Eastern
it's
religious
like,
traditions.
there's like neocons. Like
Well,
most
there's
of-
like
most
Christian
of the
feng
American-
shui and yoga and stuff. And I'm sorry, you can't have Christian yoga. You can learn the poses and do them on your own, but if you do it the classic way, you have to do the mantras and shit. It's part of the breathing. You know, so there are all these Christian groups who are going to suck in these traditions that are part of these other religions.
Mostly
and
just
pass
what they're
them off
so.
as Christian.
Most of what like the American right is sucking in is just like
Sad but true, yeah.
just like Lockheed Martin propaganda. They're like,
Yeah.
no, we have to go over there and kill Muslims because that, like, is that what
Well,
Jesus wants? Jesus want us to go
let me put it to
murder
you this
Muslims
way.
like crazy?
Socialism and the DNC are religions masquerading as a political party. Islam
Agreed.
is a political party masquerading as a religion. So that's why they get along so well. That's a joke, but it's true. Here's the deal. Islam is not so much a faith as it is an ideology of conquest that allows them to do things in a non-traditional strategic way that they've been doing for centuries.
But this is what I'm saying. Isn't
It's not working out so good.
From the halls of
Is it-
Montezuma
but you-
to the shores of Tripoli, the Marines were fighting Islam. They were fighting Islamic forces in Tripoli. That's where part of that song comes from. So it's been a problem for a very long time. It's
Right,
not that all Islamic
but
people
you would
are
agree
bad.
that like
It's not
also
that they're all bad.
Also like militant Christians have been a problem.
Well, it's a different.
Just like killing
There's
people
a
because
different
they think
story
they're
though.
witches.
Militant Christianity cannot have as part of its ethos terrorism because the scripture itself is against that. The difference between Islam and Christianity is militant Islam has as part of its ethos the violence involved in what has become these attacks.
Right, but
However,
that's what I'm saying.
see, Christians-
Evangelical Christians.
No,
I've heard evangelical Christians
Now there's
defend our foreign
there's a
policy
distinction. There's
as
a
if it's
distinction.
totally okay.
There's a distinction, though. So a militant Christian, maybe I should say this: someone who follows Scripture to the umpteenth degree can't come to the conclusion that terrorism is a good idea. Someone who follows the Quran and the sutras can come to that. Distinction.
Sutras?
Sutras are additional writings to the Quran. That's why they hate dogs, because the Quran says, well, when Muhammad got the transcript from the angel.
The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali.
Well, when Muhammad got these inscriptions from the angel, and he had a dog with him, and the dog didn't bark. In the sutras, it says dogs are unclean because they bark at angels. So there's a discrepancy there, and the way that it's been solved is Muslims hate dogs. And I had a joke about that. on Stats where it comes from, and I learned about that from a movie called Four Lions, where these British converts to Islam, and one of them's like, "Well, God hates dogs," and I was like, "That's not in Islam. That was a racist thing in this movie." And I looked it up, and I was like, "Oh fuck, it is," and that's
No,
hilarious.
if they hit dogs, I'm against them.
Well, so here's
I love
the deal.
Dogs.
Here's the deal. So those who are militant and call themselves Christians aren't practicing the principles of Christ. They're practicing non-Christian principles.
So no,
those who
hold
are
on,
militant
hold on,
and Islamic
because
are
it's right there.
practicing that.
You're so close to the thing. So if they're not practicing biblical Christianity, what they're practicing is like Luciferianism.
Well, not
Because dude, you have Christians that are voting for politicians to go to walk into a building that is shaped like a pentagram that is literally a human sacrifice temple, and you think that they're like in any way we could call those people Christians? That seems insane, right?
Well, not all.
Not all the people in the pentagram shaped building that is based on human
not
sacrifice.
Alternative beliefs
not all
to
of them.
Christianity are satanic, but there are a lot of things like that in our intelligence community. Our intelligence community has taken the place of secret societies. So where before you had Masons and Illuminati, now we have the NSA and the CIA. Now here's the deal. That switch happened in the 20th century until probably a good part into World War II, I expect. The preponderance of these societies were groups like the Masons or the Illuminati. But things changed.
The Girl Scouts of America.
Well, the Girl Scouts do have a little bit
Listen,
of. They
you
push the
gotta,
lesbian
have you looked at their
message harder.
pins? Have you looked at the pins on their sashes?
I just don't read the
lot of
ingredients
owls.
label on your Thin Mints, is what I'm saying.
They push the.
A lot of it.
They push the lady love aspect hard with those Girl Scouts. I won't buy their cookies. I won't buy their cookies. Same
You
with.
may as well donate to Planned Parenthood.
Sadly, though,
Right.
the Boy Scouts had better. The Boy Scouts had better ethic, but then they actually got pedos in their ranks. So I'm against that.
No,
too.
the Boy Scouts had way better cookies too, but they had to stop being that overt in their marketing.
Well, Steven Spielberg quit the Boy Scouts.
Would you like the boy cookie?
Steven
Let's
Spielberg
just sell girl cookies.
quit
we
the Boy
cannot.
Scouts.
We cannot sell boy cookies anymore. That sounds bad. Would you like? You want some
Would you like
boy
a-
cookies?
Boy cookie.
I got lots of boy cookies. They came over earlier.
It's a very Hansel and Gretel.
No, that's terrible. But no, Steven Spielberg quit the Boy Scouts when they wouldn't allow gay scoutmasters, which honestly, as a parent, I wouldn't want Stefan around my 10-year-old. I just wouldn't. Call me an asshole. I wouldn't. But here's the deal about Steven Spielberg. Probably a pedophile. What does that make
Probably
me
a
think?
pedophile.
The Boy Scouts went negative on old Spielbergerino. Is what I just came up
Hold
with
on.
that thought
So
tonight.
who's been? This is. We can't go over this, so I'm just going to say it, and then we can't address it at all after I say it. But the idea that in the recent whatever Q dumps or whatever about who is a pedophile, it's always been Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg, who have this obsession with making World War II films. Why do they have this? Why do they have this obsession with World War II films? Because they're trying to reify the Holocaust, and that's how we get from pedogate to Holocaust denial. just as an example that it can be
I don't
done
deny the Holocaust,
very
but
quickly.
Spielberg-
They all say that.
Spielberg is.
Neither does Richard Spencer.
I don't deny it. No, not at all. I don't know about old Spencer McGillicuddy, but that was a real thing, and it was satanic. And Spielberg, he should be ashamed if he's trying to do something like that. But no, Close Encounters of the Third Kind is pro-extraterrestrial / interdimensional propaganda.
Oh, by the way,
Also, Jurassic Park and all of the Indiana Jones movies, love them. They have some evil shit in them. And
okay,
can
hold on,
point it
because
out.
I wanna ask you about this, man. Because I'm not like you and I are more on the same page.
Sorry about the swear words, Ray. Sorry. Listen, it's
Sorry?
the parlance of the times. Listen, expletives are not the same as swearing, right? No, they're not the same, mate. Swearing's like, if you're going to swear, you're going to be like, here's a consequence that's going to happen to you, I hope. It's like a curse. That's why we get the word curse words, cuss words, right? It's an onomatopoeia, it's a
Onomatopoeia?
Yeah, like, it's hard to do that in Australian
Onomatopoeia?
if you're not fucking Australian, mate.
It's
Don't
very
get on
hard.
me judging.
See, I fucked it up. Very had.
Jurassic
Sad.
Park, mate.
Because you got to do an I on the Viri and then a had on the. It's hard.
Listen, mate.
Anyway.
You watch Jurassic Park. Dinosaurs, humans. It's right there, mate.
And why was
the Earth could only be 6,000 years old? You've seen it.
Why was Newman even there? We knew he was
Well,
going to
here's
fuck
the
up
thing
the.
about Jurassic Park. They turned the freaking frogs gay. We used
All right,
frog DNA in the dino DNA to bridge the gap. All the dinosaurs are females, said Sam Harris. I need to think harder on my Sam Harris. Anyway, they find
Dude,
the eggs.
we got to get you on a. We'll work on that later.
Right,
but
but the eggs hatched from the female dinosaurs. Life found a way because of the frog DNA. The reason frogs turn gay from that atrazine is because there is a genetic component in amphibians where they can switch genders.
And
like
we're right
that.
back to Alex Jones, like Jurassic Park. Alex Jones.
Yeah, so
my roommate's
Jurassic
obsessed
Park
with that,
kinda
Jurassic
proves
Park.
it.
I'm so close to turning him into an Alex Jones follower. I didn't realize that. Thank you. All right,
We'll get into that.
we did
Yeah.
something good today. All right, so to finish this out, let's watch some early
Oh God, help me.
60s Christian propaganda. Let's Let's
I
watch.
think it may be mean to call it propaganda.
Let's watch The Wild
It may
Goat.
just be poorly conceived Christian.
No, it's propaganda.
No, this was
Dude,
Veggie Tales
I have a-
before they had
Yeah.
3D animation.
Well, come on. It's not like there was so
Hold on,
much
hold on.
deluge of Christian propaganda.
Oh, he
back in
uses
the
this
day.
thing every episode.
No, there was a lot of Christian propaganda. Listen, let's not. Let's.
Wait, the Wild Goat.
stop
This is a
being-
good episode.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
This
got
is the
Hal
one-
Smith and Dick Beals in it.
Yeah, Hal and Dick never did anything wrong.
And Norma's. And he's pushing a bomb.
Okay.
Wants
So he's the all-American kid firing off rockets.
Firing off missiles at the nips.
Davy and Goliath.
Davy and Goliath. Davy's a fine
I'm
American
willing
young.
to. This is
I like the
probably
hymnal at the
poorly
beginning of The
conceived,
Wild
but
Goat.
they mean well here. I don't think this is like CIA propaganda. This isn't trying to get people to do drugs in the
It
occult.
started out with a missile, and you think it's Nazi propaganda?
Well,
I
you got
love
a
your
point
optimism,
you do have a
bro.
point
I
there.
love it.
I think that could be the result of folks being influenced. But let's watch. So you're saying this is evangelical propaganda,
Right, which
which
turns
is
into
different-
CIA and
which-
warmonger
okay,
propaganda.
there's an argument there. There's a legit argument there, and that missile, that's something. Okay, I could see that. So let's see.
Because even to start out with a missile, he's just doing shit. He's just moving a chair and trying to get
And
into the
now
top
he's
of the
going
closet.
into the closet,
trying to get his father's gun.
Oh, and there's Harvey Weinstein. Oh.
It starts out with a missile, which I feel like is leaning toward
You
like
got something
the
there.
praise of
The
technology
space
rather
age,
than
you've got some, and it's a very modern home they're in right now.
yeah. She's hiding something, always hiding something. There's
Hiding
a
the
triangle
wine.
there. That's Illuminati.
Maybe I don't know if I'd go that far, but I'll give
Okay,
you a maybe.
okay.
I'll give you a maybe on that. One.
Listen, you're the moderate. I'm
I'll give you
the.
the maybe on that one.
Wow.
It said drink.
Yeah, it does say drink on
It
there.
says drink on the back of his magazine. What? That could be like They Live. You know, they're trying to give the kids the sunglasses.
What is that? A flask?
Yeah, no, the daughter just put a flask in a paper bag behind the pillow for no reason.
The daughter just she's
Yeah.
hiding liquor like a hobo.
It's just like, why did they claymation this? They could have just had real actors. Your ass, Sally. You're a bitch.
You can't paint a picture of God like you paint a picture of Goliath, but you can see things God does if you look for them. You can get an idea of what he's like that way. Take like, let's look today to discover where we can see him.
So if they paint Muhammad, they'll.
Wait, I thought it was a thunderstorm. What happened?
Drink.
Why does it just say drink on his magazine? Anyway, oh, now the dog. This is what I
Now
was.
that him with that drink could actually be a bit of propaganda. Like, it's all right. If
No,
Dad's
no,
watch-
here's the real propaganda. Let's watch this.
Quibi. Fuck, that's loud.
Yeah.
A failing. But here's my problem. I was like, where the fuck is Goliath? And there he is. So now we're hiking with.
Oh wow, it's a
Okay,
Oh,
there's
it's Moloch.
nightmare from acid. Actually, dude, an owl in that. Oh. Well, the thing was, when Dad was reading that magazine, it's all right if Dad's into something. That was a little funky. That didn't need to be in this. I'll give you that so far.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
That shouldn't be in this. Because kids his age can read at that time.
We haven't started dissecting VeggieTales yet. We'll have you on again, and
I
we'll
don't know
do
if
VeggieTales.
VeggieTales is that bad. You're gonna have to.
No, the cucumber. I'm suspicious of.
That could just be because you've done so much acid, you can't see
I can't.
Cucumber without a
Sometimes
dildo.
a cucumber is just a cucumber. I
Especially
think
if
it was
it's Larry the
Sigmund Freud
cucumber.
who said,
That's true. Not all long, skinny things are dicks.
Oh, so here's the goat. Now they're breaking up wood. His dad's gonna pull out a knife, and
Oh, aren't they trying to help him?
they're trying to heal the goat. Yeah.
they're resurrecting a goat? Oh, shit. Okay.
Hold on. Yeah, feed him some of this.
Thirsty for souls!
By the way, I know the listeners can't see this, but the goat does have both a penis and breasts. So
Can't you put the image on the screen for him and put our voices over it like MST3K?
Transgendered.
yeah, we're gonna work it. We're gonna edit all this together to where it's
That goat's kind of funny.
trust us.
This goes like, what? I just busted my... What is this? Well, it's a good metaphor for saving somebody who doesn't know Jesus. Even a nasty old goat needs to be saved. So they put him on a sled and threw him down the hill.
In the words of the band Cake, sheep go to heaven and goats go to hell.
Look at this
So
goat.
regardless of what they do,
Look at this goat, Davy. He's wall-eyed and gay. Don't do acid. I'm telling you, really, a lot of wall-eyed gay dudes do acid podcasts. Just, I'm saying, just throwing it out there.
wall-eyed and gay. Oh fuck, that's funny. But I think Goliath is supposed to be like the one. He's a dog that's somehow connected to God or Jesus in some special way.
Oh, they got to give it a mascot. Kids like some stuff, but it could be. I don't like anthropomorphization, but C.S. Lewis did it. He did it partially as a sort of excuse for the fairy tales.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. I'm not against anthropomorphization.
Well, it can be good or bad. I guess it depends on how it's done. That should have been anthropomorphized. That
I don't think the goat talks. Just
man, look,
Davey.
he's tripping out.
What the fuck happened? They just invoke Baphomet and now he's his pet? I don't understand what's happening. I thought they were trying to show that the goat was evil.
The kid is becoming a magician. He's becoming an adept.
Oh no, Baphomet, that's our fence.
Oh no!
The moral of the story is that tripping hobo in the street you saw fall over in a thunderstorm. Don't bring him home and tie him
Baphomet,
up to
please
a post.
don't steal my car.
That goat's a metaphor for somebody tripping. His name is Steven.
He's having a real bad time. Just feed him some orange slices, and we'll calm him down.
Oh, Davy tangled with that goat and it died.
I don't like how close you're getting to that goat.
Are you a Trump supporter? Do you want to make America great again?
Yeah, how
That's
apt is
the
that
ad they
fucking,
give you for this.
Trump ad
That's
comes
crazy.
up.
These algorithms are... Didn't you just see?
He jumped on a fucking car a minute ago. He's not good enough to run. Some people are goats, and you must ensnare them.
You
You must control their
fish.
mobility.
The goat fish. It's a comedy guy out in L.A. He's hilarious. And the goat died. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Came back to life. All right.
And the goat died. Of course.
Man, that thing is possessed.
Yeah. I don't like the look on his
That's
face.
funny. Oh, they've got poop. I need to eat it. I'm
Oh
a
no,
goat.
he saw an immigrant with a job. He was.
Oh, that goat's a racist. See,
He's
the
like, what-
Christians are telling him.
What are you, Lebanese? I'll fucking kill you.
It's like, that's the guy that looks just like the guy that raped my sister. Take the garbage on your head from the goat.
It's a Tin Man.
That's not a garbage can. It's a turban. You fuck.
Oh.
You have to respect their culture.
If you were my goat, I'd get rid of him. Well,
He doesn't know any better.
okay, little Anton LaVey. He's my goat. I love him. Listen, Baphomet didn't mean to do that.
Dog sitting there. Goliath is
Clumsily
like,
cram
oh hell no!
Just clumsily cram him into the doghouse.
This is the weirdest claymation I've ever seen.
What's weird is that these people weren't on acid when they were making this. They were.
Ostensibly,
This is sobriety.
I hope the
You don't care about me.
And you can sleep in my bedroom tonight.
Oh. And man shall not bed with
And
the canines.
No man should let.
he's just been
No
hanging
man
out with
shall lie
he's
with
been
his
hanging out
dog.
with a goat for one afternoon. Already he's banging
Fucking
dogs.
a dog, yeah.
This is danger.
It'd be hilarious if that was the morality tale at the end of this. Like, don't hang out with goats or you'll start fucking dogs. Nah. Oh no.
Ah! He's calling the devil up. This goat.
Baphomet.
Samael! Raphael!
Oh man. All right, you want to? And then he's dick.
He's throwing a bone to the fucking. Look, this is all. I don't like any of this. Do goats even eat bones?
Goats. I don't know.
Oh no, he's
That
building
was
a.
not claymation.
He's building a throne. Is what he's doing.
He comes out and there's just like this bone chair.
Yeah, that he can sit on and point up and down at the same time.
The mother and father came out. Davy, your goat ate somebody to the bone in front of.
What are all these bones?
Good boy, Goliath.
Digging up.
I guess you're right. His real home is in the mountains. You sure have grown a lot, Alfie.
All set to take off the cast, baby?
Uh-huh. Can you hold him still? Now hold steady, Alfie.
His leg looks as good as new, Davy.
Sure would make a keen pet, but I can see he'd be happy with that.
Look at the eyes on that thing.
Want to take him back there?
Oh, yeah, those are the eyes of the. Those are the eyes of a possessed goat.
Bye, Alfie.
You're not my kid. Get off this mountain.
So the goat just kicks him down.
See how happy
That was the end of Alfie.
back home in the mountains.
I bet he was. But then God made goats free to run and play. You'll be happier in the mountains.
Hey, that's what you meant when you said we can see God in things he does.
Yes, Dave.
It's weird that they gendered that
I think I
that goat, but okay.
That who?
Weird that they gendered the goat, but
in the way you took care
you
of
know.
I mean,
it well.
I don't feel like they were looking at the goat's dick.
no.
They just guessed.
It was just written by a guy. That's all.
They took him back to his home. God loves us that way.
You know what? Decent message.
I was waiting for the occult symbolism in this, and it was just a
they're
story about.
Lutherans. Lutherans aren't that occultic. They're just really bland. They're like
Yeah, they
diet
just like
Catholics.
music.
Lutherans are diet Catholics.
Wow.
Like, I mean, they're the starters of the Protestant Reformation.
That was really. That could have been so much satanic.
You're not looking at the
Imagery.
flower. The flower is
well. The
symbolic
flower
of
does
the-
have it's got the 5 points on it with the cross in the middle. That could be something.
That was just basically Let It Be. And you're like, isn't that satanic?
And who was on the cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band?
None other
Sgt.
than
Pepper himself,
Aleister
Aleister Crowley.
There we have
Let
it.
it be
All right.
indeed.
All right.
I don't think if that's propaganda, that's mostly unintentional. That's mostly just like as a handshake
Listen,
watermark for the people who produced it. Not to
We'll stop
influence
it right
people.
there. We'll stop it right there. We accused him of Satanism.
Who?
At the end, him.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
Did we?
No, we just yelled about Aleister Crowley. That's the same thing. Anyway,
Oh.
I'll stop it.
Oh, is that the end?
Yeah.